In this video, we're going to talk about what happened to a creator who goes by the Kept Wife Life on TikTok after she shared her opinion about hood women. On her page, she talks about her life as the kept wife of a very successful Black man who is an investor and dealership owner. He also has other ventures. Now it has been brought to my attention that she has been accused of saying some colorist things, and I don't know anything about that. If that's true, I certainly don't agree with that. And by uploading this video about her, I am in no way condoning her behavior. I'm using her situation as an example of what can happen to you if you decide to put yourself out there. That's all. I'm not telling anyone to follow her. I'm just using her situation as a learning tool. Now, let's take a look at the video.
So I seen this girl make a post earlier where she was like, I'm not afraid to admit hood people scare me. Now, although that may trigger some people, y'all have to understand some of us are just genuinely traumatized. Now, I didn't grow up in the hood, but I worked in the hood. And when I tell y'all, that was one of the most miserable experiences of my entire life. You could not look at them wrong. They wanted to fight. You could not be quiet. If you were quiet, it's you think you're all that, you think you're better than us. It's so bad. I was washing my hair today and I got flashbacks of when they used to tease me and try and call me broke because I was not wearing a lace wig. Like, they just say the most uneducated, ignorant stuff I've ever heard in my life. I'm broke because I want to wear my natural hair that God blessed me with. And because I'm not gluing something to a nasty stinking stocking cap every 5 seconds, that mean I'm broke. Like, the energy is just so miserable and negative. And even when they're trying to be nice, it's still in a weird way. It's like they're either trying to use you or benefit from you or get up under you to learn your business. I don't get that feeling from my friends now. Like, if they want to hang out, I know they genuinely care about me and they want to hang out. Not because they're trying to gather tea on me to tell somebody else. Around hood people, you don't feel safe. You feel like you have to watch your purse, watch your belongings, you have to watch your back. And I remember when I used to go just walk inside of the gas station and a car full of hood girls would just laugh and talk trash. And it's like, you don't even know me. You're just random people on the street. You're just so ignorant. It's just always negativity. They're always down to fight. They're always loud. They're always like, ew. Like, I'm so glad that Tampa is so segregated and I don't have to go on that side of town. And I know that sounds terrible, but like a lot of things I'm just so traumatized by. I do not get along with hood chicks at all. I could probably count 0. I can't think of one person that is hood and I've actually like gotten along with them and they were nice and they were sweet and they weren't trying to use me and they never talked about me like a dog. Like, I can't think of not one person. I can't. When people show you who they are, believe them.
So she was doxxed after she uploaded that video. Doxing refers to the act of illegally obtaining and publishing someone's private or identifying information on the internet without their consent. This can include things like your real name, home address, phone numbers, email, financial information, and more. Sure, she said some things that were out of line, like how she's glad that Tampa is segregated. But I don't see a problem with everything else that she said. She shared her experiences, and unfortunately, she was doxed. The lesson that we can all take away from this is, be careful when you're dealing with unhinged people who have nothing to lose. She has a lot to lose. Most women will never get a chance to live the life that she's living. And if her husband is as successful as she says, the attention that she's receiving is surely bad for business. Now that her business is out there, instead of social media, she should probably take up some hobbies, start her own small business, or do some volunteer work. She already made herself a target by exposing her lifestyle to a lot of people who are struggling. Some of them were probably praying for her downfall. I'm sure there are many women who are waiting to take her spot. So you have to be extremely careful when you put yourself out there and decide to criticize a group of people who have nothing to lose, and whoever doxed her clearly doesn't care about her safety. So ladies, please be careful. And this is not about people who live in the hood. This is about people who have a hood mentality. A hood mentality refers to an attitude or mindset that is often associated with life in impoverished urban neighborhoods or hoods. It typically involves adopting a tough, street-smart persona and embracing values such as loyalty, respect, and a willingness to engage in violence or illegal activities as a means of survival or gaining status within the community. Again, an attitude or mindset that is often associated with life in the hood, not always. Not everyone who lives in the hood is a hood person. This is about the degenerates in our community who not only make us all look bad, but when you're around them, they'll make your life a living hell. And they're not above doxing you and putting all of your personal information out there if you hold them accountable. Due to all of the trauma that we deal with in our community, especially those who have abusive parents, there are a lot of undiagnosed narcissists and people with other personality and mental disorders in our community. And the lack of accountability is a major issue. We will say that we want things to improve in the Black community, but that involves holding people accountable, and to some people, those are fighting words. So stop silencing the people who are sharing their experiences. They have the right to speak out. Stop trying to gaslight people into being verbal, mental, financial, and physical punching bags. It's time for us to hold these people accountable so we can start repairing the damage that has been done in our communities. This whole ordeal has taught me something about why so many negative things persist in our community. We protect those who do the most damage in our community. We protect those who harm us the most. And we protect them because we're afraid of them, and we're afraid of how outsiders will view us as a whole based on their behavior. We have the power to fix this problem, but our programming is holding us back. And I get it. It's one of our many, many survival tactics as people who have been oppressed in this country for centuries. We have survived by sweeping certain things under the rug, but I think we have run out of space under that rug. It's time for us to address everything that we have been hiding. Fix the problems, and we won't have to worry about anyone using them as ammunition against us. It's that simple. We have been allowing unqualified people to lead us, and it's by design. They have led us to hell. And now we have to dig ourselves out of this hole. When the kept wife was doxxed, someone discovered her arrest record, and they shared her mugshot, which I won't share in this video, but it's floating around on the internet. And they basically called her a hypocrite because she was talking about hood women when she was arrested for allegedly putting her hands on her husband, so she made a follow-up video where she addressed her arrests. Let's take a look.
I went to my husband yesterday and I was like, I think I'm gonna do a story time. And he's like, a story time for what? Take note, he's so oblivious to all of this. When you're in your 50s, you're thinking about retirement. You don't care about TikTok. He has houses that still need to be fixed. He has a commercial property he's trying to buy. He has a shelter he's trying to take over. He has real grown man business stuff going on right now. He didn't know any of this was going on. So I fill him in and he's like, wow, all that off of your opinion in a video? And I was like, yeah. So he laughed and he was like, why do you feel the need to explain yourself or do a story time? And I was like, well, because they found out about what I did in 2018 that caused you to go to jail. And he's like, I don't care. I forgot all about that. I don't even know them. And I'm like, yeah, but I want to take accountability for that. So he's like, well, if, it's your social media page. If you want to tell them, you can tell them. If you don't, you don't. You can leave it as is. I don't care what they think about me. So that's what it is. My husband never put his hands on me. I was very childish back then. And we got into an argument. I lied and told them that he did. I also called his mother's house, ordered like 50 pizzas, mass spammed her. I did all type of crazy stuff back then, and he forgave me for it. It's been years. We moved on, never had another problem, never had another issue. And then recently, last month, I decided to go to the casino with my girls, have a couple of drinks. I came back home like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I woke him up out of his sleep and told him to go fix me some beef bacon and some egg. Him being tired did not want to get up right away, and that ticked me off. I'm intoxicated, so I'm not thinking about how he feels. I'm only thinking about why you won't get up and go fix me something to eat. So yeah, I start this huge argument with him over him not cooking me beef, bacon, and eggs. Yeah, silly, I know, but whatever. Long story short, someone calls the police. I go to jail. He bails me right out, and we're back loved up the same day. A man will never touch me. Let's just make that clear. And in conclusion, none of these situations make me ghetto. Ghetto is a personality trait. You have politicians who go to jail for domestic violence, DUIs, and whatever else. And then they go back to the office and they do their job. And then act like nothing even happened. Problems happen, stuff happens, that's life. I don't believe in evil eye, I don't believe in voodoo. I am responsible for all of my actions. If I would have just stayed home and not went out and got drunk with my friends and stayed home with my family, none of that would ever happen. Am I spoiled? Am I bossy? Am I dominant? Yeah. But am I ghetto? No. So yeah, that's my story. Let's continue with the soft life content, put all this behind us and keep moving. Oh, and I'm not going to stop sharing my opinion. Y'all are not going to bully me to stop me from talking. That's never going to happen. So if you want to keep recycling the same old mugshots, you can keep doing that. I don't care.
Again, ladies, when you're dealing with unhinged people, don't think that they won't come after you. I don't know how this will impact her marriage, but if all of this negative attention that she's receiving leads to a divorce, it's her fault. Yes, I also blame the people who doxed her, but at the end of the day, she chose to put herself out there. If you're going up against people who believe the only way to solve problems is by using violence, think twice if you know people have access to your personal information, like your address. There's a reason why a lot of people are faceless and anonymous on social media. I'm going to wrap this video up by taking a look at some comments that were made on the first video, where people are sharing their experiences, which is their right, and if it is safe for you to do so, keep sharing your experiences. Don't allow people to silence you. And if you're in your feelings about being called out, instead of getting angry, get active. Let's fix our communities. And as you're listening to these comments, remember, being from the hood doesn't make you a hood person. Your mentality does. Some of these people grew up in the hood, but they're not hood people, and they're sharing how they were targeted for being different. I remember getting bullied for not being ghetto and baddie and hood. It hurts. Girl, you said the quiet part out loud. I never had the courage to say this. My childhood was traumatic because of this. I got shipped to the projects in NYC when my mom died, and I had over 30 fights from age of 12 to 34. I never could fit in, and I tried to adapt. It never worked. Imagine having to deal with deranged people while grieving. The next comment says, I'm glad people are starting to talk about this. I agree. I hope we can keep the discussion going, and I hope we're able to produce some solutions. OMG. This is so true. I used to get picked on for speaking proper English and reading books. We need to start talking about how smart kids are bullied in our community. Being smart is something to be proud of, but unfortunately, a lot of smart Black kids are bullied and they never reach their full potential in life. I'm sure a lot of you guys know someone from the hood who was practically a genius, but they were bullied. So they downplayed their intelligence. In a society where we should be pushing Black kids academically, we allow the brightest ones to be bullied because they make other kids feel dumb. That's yet another generational curse that needs to be broken. Do you guys realize that a lot of the things that have been normalized in our community actually hold us back as a people? I'm challenging all of you parents to step up to the plate and take control of your child's education. Immigrants come to this country and they push their children. I'm not saying their methods are always great, but they encourage them to pursue careers in high-earning fields, such as careers in STEM, because they know that wealth is power in this country. In the meantime, again, we're allowing smart Black children to be bullied. Also, something that needs to be addressed is that a lot of Black American parents won't support you academically, but they still expect you to take care of them when they're old. But that's for a different video. Next comment. I've always had good pronunciation of my words, and they would always say, you talk white, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Isn't this an example of anti-Blackness? Comparing a Black person to a white person because they speak proper English is anti-Black. Think about what they're implying about Black people, if they're equating being able to speak properly with being white. If you don't sound like you just stepped off a plantation, they'll accuse you of sounding like a white person. It's like they don't understand that you're a product of your environment. Let's move on to the next comment. I wanted to get out of the hood so badly. I was called bougie because I went to college. Another example of someone being targeted for pursuing an education. That's a big problem in our community. I hope more people speak out against it. In school, I would get teased by the girls from the hood because they said I talked too white, and the guys would tease me about my body. It was all bad for me, just a terrible experience. And I'm sure she's still dealing with the trauma as an adult, especially if she didn't go to therapy. The next person said, I grew up in the hood, Bankhead ATL, and was teased because I was skinny, light-skinned with long hair, nice clothes, etc. and had no friends because they thought I was trying to be better than them. I hear this a lot, not only from light-skinned women, but also from dark-skinned women. But I've noticed that when the light-skinned women talk about this, they're silenced. Some people seem to believe that having lighter skin means that your pain tolerance is higher, so you should shut up about your problems. Halle Bailey is on the lighter end of the spectrum, but that didn't stop a racist guy on X from launching a campaign against her by comparing her to E.T. Gaslighting is so common in our community. It's normalized. Most people probably don't even realize that they're doing it. If you have been targeted by another Black person due to the color of your skin, speak up about it. Again, the stories need to be told. We can't put an end to these generational curses if we continue to gaslight people about their experiences. Next, this person says, "Yes, in high school I was treated differently because I didn't wear lace fronts and wore braids and my natural hair all of the time, and they would go out of their way to be mean for no reason." One thing that I've learned about problematic hood girls is that because they tend to be intellectually challenged, they're really big on their appearance, because it's all they have. If you've noticed, some of the smartest women in the world wear the least amount of makeup. They don't wear false nails and eyelashes often. They don't have to rely on their looks to get by in life because they're intelligent. And those women make women with a hood mentality feel uncomfortable. They're insecure. So yeah, they're going to bully you. And it doesn't end in high school, unfortunately. Also, they're usually extremely male identified. They'll set you up and throw you under the bus for male validation. And I'll share one last comment. I felt this so hard, but I learned that living a hard life makes people that way. I give grace, but keep my distance. And that's self-preservation. If you believe that someone is not good for you, you have the right to distance yourself from them, including relatives. Please take a look at these videos where we address self-preservation for Black women, the hood mentality, and how to overcome it, and how female rappers program women and young girls to remain in the permanent underclass, etc. The links are in the video description of this video on our YouTube channel. If you feel safe enough to share your story, feel free to do so in the comments. Be sure to like this video, and don't forget to subscribe or follow. See you on the next video.